Greetings, Kindred. I am Voivode Maquette, and welcome back to our World of Darkness and Level by Level, where in this playlist we are going through the powers of the discipline Auspex and everything that it has to offer. Today we're going through Share the Senses, which is actually a discipline that I don't think has a counterpart in any of the other systems. I could be wrong. I haven't played everything, and I also don't have the best memory in the world. But I do not remember anything like this coming up, but I do remember people attempting to do things like this while using telepathy. So I like the fact that they added it into the game officially now. The book states, by reaching out with their mind, the vampire can tap into the senses of another mortal or vampire, seeing, hearing, or feeling what they do. The user still retains their own perceptions and is still aware of their own surroundings, though the effects require some getting used to. The user decides whether to tap into only one, some, or all of the target's senses. When used on a stranger, the power requires a line of sight to initiate. However, it can be used over long distances on someone who still has some of the user's blood in their body. So that's a pretty neat thing. If the person who is using this power has had their blood drank, they can use it as a way of extending their senses into someone else, no matter where they go, as long as that blood is still in their system. That could last several days if done properly. If you know that you're going to have a coterie member investigate an area where they could very well be taken, you could have them drink some of your blood so that you can check in on them when you need to. And I think that is like one of the main reasons I would use that part of this power. The fact that you can listen in on conversations better than ever when it comes to this. I think that's another reason, is like I can see the NOS wanting Share the Senses simply so they not only overhear conversations but can passively be part of them. Now, the cost is 1 rouse check. That's not that bad considering what you can accomplish with this power. 1 rouse check is a chance that you could be spending blood, but more often than not, with the 50-50 shot that rouse checks are, you're going to be fine. Dice pool is Resolve plus Auspex. I can see that due to the fact that this power seems to be more of imparting your will onto someone else. Even if you're not controlling them, you are willing yourself into their mind. The system states, roll Resolve plus Auspex at a difficulty of 3. This difficulty can go up depending on the distraction, distance, and other factors, such as the amount of the user's blood that remains in the target. The target usually remains unaware of the intrusion, but Sense the Unseen can allow the passenger to be noticed. To get rid of an unwanted rider, the victim must beat the intruder at a Wits plus Resolve versus a Wits plus Resolve roll. An Auspex user thrown out this way cannot make another sharing attempt until the next night. That is all massively cinematic, in my opinion. I could imagine what it would be like to be in a conversation with someone and then you sense the unseen out of just a general sense of paranoia and see someone else's like aura or soul sitting on top of theirs, just piggybacking, going, what was the last thing that you said? I didn't quite catch that. I love the fact that with Sense the Unseen, you can be spotted. The risk there is amazing, especially since the target is generally unaware of the fact that you're even there. So that was a nice little additive. Another thing that I really like is that you get chucked out with your Wits plus Resolve roll. You don't have the will to just keep doing it over and over again. That there's a level of mental exhaustion and fatigue that comes with it. And due to the fact that nothing in this game really gives you a sense of fatigue, which I don't think vampires would, for the most part, suffer from, mental expenditure or just extending your will that far does sound like something that could very well be exhausting. And the duration is 1 scene. So you can sit there for the entire scene and just spy on the conversations that are happening for you. This is harpy territory right here. I know as a storyteller, I've used that quite a bit. I try not to use that too much because I don't want it to be cheating or make the game unplayable for other players. But there is always, oh, I'm going to dedicate this amount of time to doing things, and if they happen to say something in that window of time, then yeah, that's going to be something that pops up later on in the story, and I think that's always been helpful. So with Share the Unsenses being, to my knowledge at least, a newer power for Auspex, what have you used it for? Have you used it just for spying on people? Have you used it to help locate missing coterie members? What exactly has Share the Senses been used for you as both storytellers and players? And also, what would you do to make sure that you defend against it? Or do you even consider it? I know that when I bring in a new character into a game, if I'm younger, until it happens to me, I really don't think about it. And then after it does happen to me, I'm just paranoid as hell, and I'm trying to check constantly to make sure that I'm not being spied on at all points in time, until eventually I go from every available second to every other scene to maybe once a month I'll check. And then I let it die down after that. But there is that point when you find out that this can be used against you, the paranoia is just rampant. So, I am Voivode Maquette. This is Level by Level on our World of Darkness, and we have just taken a nice deep look into Share the Senses, which is a Level 3 Auspex power. Class dismissed.